is still not built. Not fully. One day. I was talking to Pump earlier. I really want her weapon, but I'm not risking the donut. I cannot risk Baiji's weapon. I don't use him that much, and even if I did, his weapon's not that good on him. It's barely better than some 4-star weapons. So we ain't risking that. Hopefully I'm hoping what'll happen is the same. I'm hoping what happened with Nahida will happen with her. Where, like, in a couple of patches, she'll rerun with somebody else's whose weapon I didn't get. Like, Nahida eventually reran with Nilou. And so I was able to pick up both of their weapons without having to, you know, be as terrified about getting crap. I'm hoping that at some point she'll rerun with either Nuviet or Risley or even Alhaitham. I'd take Alhaitham. I never got his weapon either. Unless you're a Pav tier. And even that is like, oh no, this was supposed to happen. She'll rerun with Arlecchino. I mean, I'd live with that. Oh, there's a new event. I'm going to assume that's not voice actor or anything, and I don't need to worry about it right now. All right. Anyway, I'm rambling. I've already hit the recording button. Stop stalling, Nova. Last time we did the Archon quest, and it was pretty goddamn kino. Besides some weirdness at the end, but that's why we're gonna see if this can fix at least a little bit of it. I don't think it's gonna fix any of the weirdness with Skirk. Like, the more I think about it, that whole plot point really rubs me the wrong way. It almost felt like bad fanfic. It's just like the situations, like we have to beat this whale, and then instead some like really edgy-looking, try-hard-ass-looking character dressed like that shows up, acting snooty, acting like she already has all the answers and knows exactly what's going on, and she's so bothered by having to wait around and give us the answers, and it just, I've never been a fan of that style of character or writing them into the story. But whatever, I don't care about her. I care about this girl.
I once considered keeping some pets in my office, but soon gave up on the idea. It's just not right to keep small animals where they won't be able to see the sun.
Oh, I mean, that's very thoughtful, but, like, I don't know, you could get, like, a goldfish or something, maybe? He talks more than the wine guy? No. Nuviet talks more than the wine guy. Do not get this man started on his water. He will be more than happy to sit your butt down and talk to you about the finer points of water. Does he? Yeah, let me see if he does it for a second. Hey, Fusion, what's up? Say it. Nuviet, say the thing. Oh, I can just look it up. That's right. I got you. Yeah, congratulations. He literally just hit rank 10 friendship before I started streaming. Do the Archons have quotes about Furina? I should look that shit up, yeah. Especially because who knows, like, I don't know, depending on how this goes, it could change after her quest or something. Which one's his idol? I think it should be one of these. No? Is it chat? It's this one.
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile,
Pump, this is one of his default quotes. You will sit here and listen to the whole thing.
Savored patiently to fully appreciate it.
You leave him alone on the map unsupervised for too long, and you have to hear that every time. But yeah, one second. I'm very curious, actually. I know he's still not technically an Archon, but like nonetheless, one second. Let me actually see what he has to say, if anything. He talks about all the other Archons. I thought maybe he'd have something else that, like, only unlocked after her quest, I wonder. I wonder if that's always what it said. I actually don't remember. Other Archons. You. War criminal. Anything to say about her? You do.
For 5 centuries, I dueled the Raiden Shogun in my personal realm of consciousness to confirm the steadfastness
that did also
of my will.
She did do the same
Yet
thing
this Furina you
for the
speak
same amount of time.
though possessing only a frail human body, committed herself to acting out her part every second of every day for 500 years. A true battle of the spirit. Her willpower has indeed reached the level of a god.
Aww. God damn, that's wholesome. Do the gods care for each other? It depends. Venti and Zhongli got kind of a weird thing, but like that's genuinely really wholesome. It's like, yeah, she's doesn't have Archon powers, but like after what she went through, like come the fuck on. You gotta respect the hustle.
People often say that wisdom isn't about what you know, but knowing what you can change. It is beyond question that the prophecy was carved into ermine so long ago. And while it may look like nothing has changed, it also seems like everything has. I think we both know her to be smart enough to turn the fate of the world around.
Look at them being all respectful. Holy shit. Uh-oh. You.
A bard must be versed in both music and song, but a stage performer requires
fellow
far
theater
more
kid.
skills than just these. Hey, don't you think we should invite her over to put on a show at the next Windbloom Festival? Huh? You want me to talk about how she saved Fontaine?
Yes.
Well,
I don't
mean,
think she
she's
necessarily
such a
needs to keep
talented
being a
artiste,
performer.
It's no wonder. I wouldn't be surprised even if she'd saved the entire world.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, though, Venti. Talking about her performing still. I think we should let her rest. Did I skip over Geodaddy? I did.
She made a contract with her own self to save the nation. Strictly adhered to it for over 5 centuries without once wavering, and even fooled the heavenly principles in the end. I have great respect for approaches to justice that place exacting demands not only on others, but also on the self. Though her divinity has vanished, and the throne of the Archon is no more, Furina will go down in Fontaine's history as a god of justice worthy of recognition.
See, that's what you guys all think because you guys are SMRT and informed of the full situation. What I'm worried about is public perception. Because the only people who saw her, who saw the god half were the real characters. Venti's quote about Furina's making you think too much. Look, a distraction. Let's actually start the quest.
Hey, Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions?
Hell no, I don't have to do those anymore. My new strategy with Genshin has been, it wasn't, but it's going to be from now on, now that I realize how it works. With a new system, where you can just do, like, other miscellaneous tasks instead of the fucking dailies. My new strategy is to just explore literally tiny bit by tiny bit for, like, 5 to 10 minutes or whatever every day, so that I never have to do regular commissions again. It's gonna be not very slow to explore everything, but like whatever. I don't really care about exploration in this game at this point. It's gotten very tedious and almost made me quit the game for a while. They're not quit, but like I've talked about. I've talked about how sick I was of the game in the lull between Sumeru and here.
Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're old friends now. She gets it.
Have no doubts Nuvia will stick up for her. He very clearly had like no hard feelings, and he mentioned that he would see to it that she's taken care of. So, hopefully.
It's always a pleasure to see our 2 most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues, and is currently unable to perform the role. But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
I don't know if I like where this is going.
Situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
That's
Again,
right.
exactly, Pump. Yeah,
Our
no.
adventurers reached out
Like-
to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job.
It depends
There are
on how
only a few days left
It
until the
literally just depends on
performance.
her mental state.
If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to
We
postpone
have not
the
gotten
show.
to talk to her at all since
And
this shit
delays tend to
concluded.
create all sorts of new
I
problems.
needed to see where she's at mentally.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
True that, yo.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there. Maybe
That
you
is
can't
old
fill the
Kentucky
role
Shark, and
yourselves,
he has been
but you
there.
might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon.
He's fat!
Paimon approves, let's go!
I wasn't asking for your approval.
Are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
I didn't say
Wow,
that.
Sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame.
Is this just some kind of like public works thing, or are you actually selling tickets?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts.
All right, that's what I figured.
All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah, this is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe.
Ryuki,
One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it.
What happened to the other actress?
Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform. The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas. What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
1 grillion.
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't
I
promise
got
that
this,
we'd ever be able
dude.
to pay you back.
Unlike Star Rail and Honkers, I actually have money in this game. At least coin money. The Gacha currency. I can't be mad at her anymore, because dear God, but it's gonna be a long climb back up to where I was at.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly
Very
rescuing
disheartening.
the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you know who?
This is a terrible idea. Again, especially considering we literally have not talked to her before now.
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now. She's
Fuck
really
you,
good at
Paimon.
performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
I hate this. I hate how hard they're glossing over this. Like, yeah, she's out of a job. What the fuck else is she doing with her life? Like, I don't know. Probably coping mentally. Trying to finally figure out who she is and what she wants out of life. Now that this fucking Promethean existence is finally at an end. Shut the fuck up, Paimon.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Uh...
Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner. She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Furina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours.
No, Pup, I thought that's where they were going. I thought he was getting uppity because, yeah, like, public perception is, oh, she was never the real Archon, she lied to us. I thought they would fucking heel turn on her. But no, it's the opposite problem. Okay, alright. At least we have that.
Well, yes, but... Huh. Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Furina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
It'll be good to check it on her anyway. Yeah, no shit.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Wait, where does Furina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's, moved out, right?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
That's not creepy.
Ooh! When did you get here?
We were 5 feet away, Paimon.
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case
mental
my
health. What's that? Like this? Like I'm not saying the follow-up quest needed to be like some kind of serious.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
psychological
so much.
examination of where she's at now, or like deal with some kind of like fallout, like us fighting a mob. I don't know. I don't know what it could have been, but like this feels so first world problems compared to like what we were dealing with and where she's at right now.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina. Back in a jiffy.
Like, I get it, it's an anime, the little ocean, and oh my god, you are not making her star in an accurate, you are not making her star in a goddamn accurate to the original tale adaptation of The Little Mermaid. I'm not letting you do that to her. It has to be the Disney version. No sea foam. We can't deal with that. She don't need that right now. Please. Game. Work with me here.
Did Catherine really give us the right address? She lives here?
Check my posture already.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just, a bit of a step down from the Palais Mermonia.
Night-night, Blanco. Have a good one. Good luck at your new job.
It's common courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't an earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Bruh.
Okay, when did Poppy got a thin air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
Paimon,
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags.
She's eating macaroni! Oh, honey! Oh my god. Surprised she could cook. It's probably instant macaroni. That's craft. She's making craft. It's all she knows how to do. Oh god.
I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
You're not eating Kraft macaroni every day, are you?
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Bruh.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
If I could pay a fee to remove Paimon from the game, I would. I know she elaborated she means the real stuff. Just, dear God.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity!
Sorry, honey, the game didn't give me a choice.
It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now, too.
She hasn't fully fallen until she's cooked macaroni and used tomato soup concentrate as a sauce. Oh, God.
Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
And you're one to talk? Fuck this
Not
character.
yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace.
What's her cooking ability in game? I'm not sure. I have not looked, admittedly. I'm going to assume it's at least better than Raiden's cooking ability, which is no. Raiden's cooking ability is no.
Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoot!
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad!
Don't defend her.
Yeah, exactly! With the travelers!
Shut up.
Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either!
You shut up. I'm gonna start skipping your dialogue. We came
My
here to ask
help?
for your help.
Uh,
I'm done with her.
Maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help!
You're apparently the only person for the job.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so specific? I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my expense.
Remember when I defended Paimon at one point? I still don't want to make the emergency food jokes because they're fucking cringe, to be quite frank. Because the game tries so hard to, like, make it a meme, and it worked, and it's just like, you're trying too hard. I still don't want to make emergency food jokes, but just, dear God.
After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well-versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
What? Why?
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you!
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Understandable.
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Hey, Dale, you finally recovered from your crippling alcoholism. Why don't you celebrate with a drink? Just one.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place.
How's it going? I want to put Paimon in a blender and pour her down the drain.
So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Short and to the point. Okay.
Not making her just folks should make jokes about her cooking her as soon as possible. Sure, that works.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably couldn't wait to get rid of me. Since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
You shouldn't assume the worst of people. You know, the people who we dragged you in front of to publicly bully in a court of law. What's wrong with making one exception? This is so fucking dumb.
True, but, I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Oh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed. Yeah, I guess that's all we
Deal
can
with
do
it.
now. All right, then. We'll see you around, Furina.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Apologies for my creaky chair. I could not get comfortable for some reason. Girl's gonna break down and listen to Linkin Park. Boy, howdy. Why is my own chat alerting me about Karmatrine? I have infinite Karmatrine.
It's too bad, but we have to respect Furina's decision. Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Gee, you think?
Huh? What's going on? Are they arguing?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
I see her coattails. Fuck this.
Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this. Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore.
I saw
You've
her.
made
I saw her
yourself very
coattails
clear,
poking
so
out
I'll
from
stop
behind
looking for a replacement.
the commission counter.
This is the last chance we have.
She has
though.
very, very big
If your illness
coattails.
flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly.
Drugs.
I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Yep. Hey, Balin. We're emotionally abusing a clown girl.
How did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list. All right.
Why are we grabbing her like that?
No
Why
need
are
to
we
drag
so,
me.
Why are we so aggressive? What's the point of dragging her back over?
Hello, one and
We
all.
established she
I
can't
couldn't
help
help but
because the actor's
overhear
supposed
your
to-
conversation just now.
Ay, ay, ay.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned, that's all. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Don't!
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that person.
No!
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish.
I
having had a
refuse to
change of
dignify
heart
that.
after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
The French. Oh, Subby, you missed some bullshit. Let me tell you. I was gonna say, yeah, the manga, like the manga's printed by Dark Horse. I know there were some issues with like it being out of print for a while there, but like I think it's pretty readily available these days. What did you miss? Oh, I don't know how I don't know if I can recap that. I feel like anything I say might be underselling it a little.
There's no need to think like that. And no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine.
Basically Furina, the Archon, whatever you want to call her. She had no powers because 500 years ago she essentially Virgiled herself. She ripped herself into a human side and a god side. The god side hid inside the Star Rail ticket puncher from the courtroom that backs up all of the verdicts made there to collect energy, while the human side was forced to parade around acting like this to basically serve as a distraction and make it appear to, like, the gods that, like, you know, oh, the prophecy's gonna happen, the Archon's incompetent, nothing's being done. When in actuality, the god side was collecting energy specifically to have enough power to kill herself. That is not hyperbole. That is the plan. So, yeah. So that happened. So she literally killed her god half in order to, like, technically fulfill the prophecy, give Nuviet back his authority as the Hydra Dragon, aka the one who would have been the ruler of the element before the Archons were a thing. And he used his full power to save the city from drowning. Not a fax machine.
I was wondering, if this troop is so important to all of you,
and so now this
why
is
does it have to disband?
And so this is human Furina. She has no power. She's normal person now. She didn't get kicked out. She left. She willingly left, like the place she lived, the fancy ass Archon mansion or whatever. And is very, very clearly not okay after that. Like, we had a whole ass Evangelion ass session psychoanalyzing her. Like, she's not okay. And yet, we're kind of being complete dickwads saying, hey, Furina, you just had a really traumatic experience where you had to effectively act for 500 years. You want to be in a musical?
If the difficulties are purely financial, then there
That's
must be
the
a
plot.
solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe.
The regular manga
I'm
messes
sure
up some of
if
the
you
art
keep
or
chipping
something?
away, you'll find a way through.
Not to my knowledge.
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director.
The Trigon
She
hardcover
was
got
the
delayed.
heart and
Sorry.
soul
Sorry
of
to
our
hear that,
troupe.
Fusion.
She kept us going.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength
How's
to
Navia?
strength.
She made it out all right.
Things were really looking
I
up
forget
for
how much
us.
of that you were there for, but she's
and
okay.
Then disaster struck.
Yeah.
She was hanging out with
After
Clorind
that, the
at the end
entire
of
troupe
the
fell
Archon
into
quest.
disarray. And none of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can, but despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart.
Explain her ability to summon water spirits. That's what I'm trying to figure out and why I'm so confused about this being such a, like, small-time conflict helping this theater troupe. Because, like, it is one of those interface spoilers things where, like, this has to end with her somehow getting her powers back in some fashion, right? Because she's playable and very, very clearly has powers.
It's agonizing.
The butlers are still
And
dead.
ultimately,
Yeah.
we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end. and
Yeah, we
watch
found
all
the
our
missing
dreams turn to dust.
panel for the prophecies and figured out what it really meant, and that turned into the suicide thing.
Oh.
What a terrible waste.
I'm actually
A
shocked.
gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give.
I'm
And then her life was so cruelly taken.
Yeah, I meant to say, actually, I'm actually very pleasantly surprised that they didn't bring them back, because, like, I thought for sure what Nuviet was gonna do at first was, to turn all the humans into Oceanids again, temporarily. Like, I didn't know what his solution was at first. Like, I thought that's what it was gonna be. I thought he would turn every single person in the city into an Oceanid, just long enough for them to survive the flood, and then turn them back the same way, Furina did, as soon as it was over. But nah, he just completely changed their chemical makeup instead. Like a Chad.
I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your
And by
final
extension, I
gift
thought by
for
doing
her?
that maybe, like, some of
Yes,
the people who
exactly.
disappeared would come back or
We all
something.
miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Furina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway.
Ignore me!
I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though.
Full power
Will
Nuvia
that
can't
be a
save the people
problem?
that melted already.
I
Seemingly
don't need
not.
any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them? An interesting answer. But if you ask
But he
me,
could pull out
I
Navia.
think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, for example, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before, and so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
The Navia thing, for one thing, I assume that, like, you know, even though we saw that whole psychological theater in, like, when she got absorbed, I assume that, like, in the context of the real world, like, that was probably a couple of seconds at most. What I assume happened with Navi is that Nuviet literally got there basically just in time, like, the second she fell. And on top of that, like, there was the thing with her, her two butlers, like, kind of trying to hold her back. Which you could definitely argue is an asshole. But, like, they did establish way back in that thing with the serial killer that, like, if the emotions are strong enough, the consciousness of, like, a single individual can still kind of peek through. Like, because the whole reason that initially started was because we heard that, his girlfriend in the fountain or whatever.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh?
When did the butlers get juiced? At the very, very start of the Archon quest. I think you missed that part. Yeah, the city that Navia's organization was based out of got flooded, and a bunch of people got juiced.
You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
You don't have to defend yourself to her.
Not swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be
No,
willing
it's
to
stupid
join me?
bitch face.
Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
It's you. I'll do it for you.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as
With
of
respect
course
to your
we all
homeboy
are.
Jeanville.
All right, follow
From
me.
Passau.
We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
You don't like how she lives alone, though? She needs some friends. She needs some friends desperately. I need an event. I need a France event. I need a bunch of other characters to fly in here and talk to this poor child. Girl, woman, whatever you want to call her. I need, we need to fly in Ito. We need to fly in, Yoimiya. Who else? Who else is fun? Not Venti. We don't need Venti. Fischl, you can come. You're both extra. You'll get along with her. We need a party. We need to have a party. We need to invite all the cool kids. Lisa's chill. Lisa can come. Sino! Dude, Sino. His terrible jokes. Yes. I did see what the other Archons have to say about her. Yeah, that was actually really cool. The fact that, like, even them being aware that she is no longer a god because that position no longer exists effectively, even. They all basically regard her as their equal just because of her sheer commitment. A good girl. I'll get you your weapon one day. Would it start with a donut? Venti wouldn't kill Furina. That would require him to not be wasted.
Huh? Lady Furina?
What's Lady Furina doing
Gonna
here?
have to wait till March. Probably what for her weapon? Probably, yeah. I need to find a chart. I couldn't find a good graph of like how long it usually takes between reruns. But I want to look up a graph like how long it took for Nahida to rerun with a better character.
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be supporting our production of the Little
Her very best friend
Ocean
Alloy
in
from
the
Lost
role
Horizon.
of artistic consultant.
Who?
These two over here are the ones that made it possible.
Oh,
They
you mean the
kindly
Wind
reached
Bloom
out to
event.
Miss
Yeah,
Furina
yeah.
on our behalf. I'm
Yeah,
sure
he
they
usually
need
shows up
no
for the Mondstadt
introduction.
Festival.
You bet. That was the trial of the century.
3 years. She didn't take
You
that
helped bring
long.
our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the
Yeah, I
fun.
need to update my own graph. Usually I have my own, but I haven't updated it in a
So,
while.
you were saying the Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director.
PS5 controllers on sale at Walmart for Black Friday. Ooh, nice, nice. I think I'm good for now. I've had to replace mine already more times than I'd like. This is my 3rd one, but it's been holding up fine.
One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can
I've
all
seen
take
Wayne's
some
World.
solace in that.
Sorry, Josh, didn't mean to ignore you. By the way, you also made an Alloy joke. I was just distracted.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Finding an actress is the least of your worries.
We've been battling issues on every front, trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about.
Yeah, my first one of the bumper buttons broke.
The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the protests of her family.
You can't sue us, it's public domain.
She longed to live just like any other human. And sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
Now I'm not gonna be able to get that Ellie Goulding song out of my head again. Thank you. Thank you for confirming my suspicions.
So far, so good. A classic tale.
A gun
What
rack.
happened
I'm
after
good.
that?
Look at this stuff.
That's one of the
Isn't
issues
it
we've been
neat?
trying to deal with.
Wouldn't you think
Unfortunately,
my
this was
collection's
as far as the
complete?
director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
Oh my god, this is not the kind of thing she needs to be worrying about right now.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction.
One, I assume you mean South Carolina, and are asking me. 2, I actually don't know, because I have not set foot in a Walmart outside of the grocery section and the toy section in years at this point. I never really pay attention. I don't pay attention when I go out. The
But
signs
then
around.
there's
I
the
get
question
what
of
I need
whether
and I
we
leave.
really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Everything else is white noise.
Exactly.
They probably do.
A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from 2 of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script, but the deadline's passed and we still haven't heard from him. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since. He did write to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since. So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Huh. Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What opportunity? What do you mean?
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop. You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way.
It's supposed to be Loic.
I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense.
Still
Okay,
hasn't realized
priority
people don't
number
hate
one,
her.
let's check in with Paulo and
Shockingly.
see where he's at with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson?
Oh.
Nothing.
Duh.
I suppose my presence
course she
will
still feels
be
bad about that.
indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y.
None
To
of us
Poisson!
hate you, regardless of if we get into arguments. I try to tell myself that. I love her eyelashes. Very clown-like. Yeah, like when her design first leaked, God knows how long ago, and people were like still even debating if she was even actually gonna be the Archon or not. Like I remember immediately liking her design, but dear God, was not prepared to end up getting this invested in her overall character. Posture check. You save your hatred for when you're playing video games? Fair. Only thing you hate is, not a lot actually now that you think about it, this one bad card in Yu-Gi-Oh! That won your opponent an entire game. Outstanding.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script
Now
ready?
I'm just Paolo in the bathroom. Paolo in the bathroom.
All right, forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some great news.
I never did get the
Nice
Gary
try.
PNG tuber. I forgot about
Look,
that.
just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping
have to
up
do
the
that.
last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
Is Poisson the slums? No, this is
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
I don't think it's considered the slums. I don't know exactly like what this place is supposed to be, but like this is it's where Navia's organization was like mainly operating. The Spina de Resula or whatever.
The ending is one of the most important parts
It's
of the show.
definitely the slums now.
Even once he's
It's
done,
pronounced Polo,
it
my
isn't
bad.
final until we've all had the chance to read through and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was
Navia
a case of
jump
mistaken
scare?
identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
Why do you sound so stiff
I
about
was
that?
wondering if we might run into her.
So you're here for Paolo? Looks like he could be a while.
They're
so
pronouncing it
feel
wrong,
free
too.
to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've made all the arrangements already.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
Point at that woman. Starting to like her.
How are things in Poisson now?
At least somebody knows how to
Any
read the
better?
room.
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
Oh, really? Is that so? Oh, I'm so sorry for them. I hope they get better soon. I wouldn't know anything about that. Nope.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time.
Thank God
Moving
somebody
on from a
knows how to
painful
deal with
experience
someone
is
who's been
easier
through
said
this.
than done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina.
Bruh.
It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all, like my father before me. Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Thank you, Navia. Thank you for actually being a considerate human being, unlike most people, including myself.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Break the fourth wall and insult the audience. Works every time. And I'll break new ground!
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was so understanding. To be perfectly honest, I didn't know if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles without facing them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me. Which, of course, I completely understand and accept.
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think Dan ever played. I know Chris did and Bob did. I don't know if either of them still are.
Yeah, I can tell.
But yeah, it was Bob.
Watching me.
Him and his C6 Ayaka.
I'm sure some people here see the idea of someone coming to Poisson dressed as the Hydro Archon as extremely disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people, especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
I'm surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Maybe this was a dumb idea and we're kind of jerks for forcing you into this.
I can't let myself see only the things I want to see. How would that make me any different from before?
Look! There seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
Probably time we made a move.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
How about we check out Spina di Rosula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there.
Poisson. They try so hard to French it up on certain words. And yet still are usually somewhat inaccurate. Like how they do the never left.
probably just wanted a relaxing stroll.
Every time
And
it was
here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
The short part of your spirit goes back into the ethers, hubby. I'm so sorry.
It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by
Please
the
stop
ship,
making me feel bad for Furina. It makes me feel
the
bad.
images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those treasured lives and memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when disaster struck, a divine power would save them from harm. And all the while, I played my part to perfection to convince them that was true. But then the floodwaters finally came, and the Hydro Archon did nothing.
You shouldn't look at it like that. You're only doing your duty.
You did what you were supposed to do. It fucking sucks, but, like, it worked.
I've had to go through so many
It
moments
worked out.
like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder and harder to bear, and I became more lonely and isolated. Eventually, I realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task, and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone, weeping on my throne. Fortunately, we were able to avoid the worst-case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals such as yourselves. Everyone rose to their responsibilities, and I finally regained my freedom. But on some level, freedom also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to people.
Bruh.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Right, Subby? You see this fucking shit? The fuck is this?
A reward?
You don't have to be alone anymore.
I guess so.
I'm gonna call
And back
Ito and
then,
Sito,
I
and they're
didn't
gonna
even
teach you how to
dare
play
dream
Yu-Gi-Oh!
about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the
There's so
Furina
much
you
shit
see
in
on
the coffee room
stage.
running Paimon
She is the one
dialogue.
you can trust.
God.
I activate my Pot of Greed magic card. That lets me draw 5 cards.
About life to myself.
Or we could start right now before I call them. Starting with the bare basics. Thank you very much, Joss.
That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
Like, does anyone like this? I know Genshin is aimed at like a younger teen audience. Like a lot of people always say like, oh, baby game, like, not baby game, but like definitely tried to geared towards more of a younger audience. Anyone on the younger side out there, like teenagers and whatnot, do you like this? Does anybody out there, even the intended demographic, like hearing this fucking chipmunk chime in with her useless fucking dribble every so often to dumb the plot down for you or be condescending at you? Who is this for?
Could you please get off my case? I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same.
Jux loves it. Jux, is there a man with a gun in your house? I think it's best we refer to Paimon as a thing. I agree! I can't stretch out the hatred! Not on that one! I can stretch out my
It was truly cringeworthy.
Why did it format it like that? Oh my god! Thank you very much, Stubby! I agree! Also, what the fuck, a hype train? I didn't even know they still did those. I haven't got one of those in a hot minute. Oh my god. Depression hype train, let's go! Choo-choo!
I do. I once had nothing but the truth.
Honk if
and
you're clinically
now
depressed.
I'm finally free
Well,
to
I
live
do
my own
squats
life
and listen to
again.
this girl be clinically
And
depressed.
even though I have no idea
Depression
where
squats,
I'm going
let's
right
go!
now, at least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Speed it up there. Get back over here. She's taking the controller with me. Depression squats, let's go! I'm trained! Woo! Ah. We're still in Passon. Baguette, baguette, Passon. Gabrick! What are you doing? Thank you very much. Crazy Uncle Gabrick contributing to the hype train. Thank you very much.
Ding, ding.
Gifting a sub to Caleb, Dimitri, All Systems Mo, Rational Bonds, and Zero King. Y'all enjoy that. Y'all enjoy your eggs and emokes, archimonicas, whatever you got going on. It depends. Fusion! Fusion, huh? What are you doing? It's That's gonna take a minute. So many pizzas. Thank you very, very much, Fusion. Gifting a one sub as well to our guardian. You enjoy that. Giving you money, you thought that was clear? I suppose it should have been popping off. Thank you very, very much. And then Subby with the last of his bits. Thank you for reminding me that Sylvando exists. I think we all need a reminder of him every once in a while when stuff gets this depressing. I appreciate that, y'all. Thank you very much. First hype train in a hot minute.
Didn't you say
doing
you
it
needed
right.
to
I
watch
appreciate
what you
it.
eat? You're supposed to be cutting down on fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips, you know?
They're
Come
French.
on. It's not every day we get to dine
They
at
eat the
Spina
fish
di
and
Rosula's
chips.
expense.
It's funny.
Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food.
Oh, did you? Oh, is that your first time seeing her animation sub? Yeah, no, her animations are adorable. She makes like little water plushies for herself. It's really cute.
Anyway,
I activate my
character
pot of
doesn't
greed
need
magic card. That lets me draw 5 cards.
Every day until we remember. Never forget what Pot of Greed does, everybody. Thank you very much, Chuck.
Are you kidding me right now?
Again?
It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours.
Ooh. Gotta take my glasses off, I can't see.
I've spent my
There are
whole
tears
life
in my eyes for
battling
several
the effects
reasons.
of ill health. And it kills me to watch you willingly ruin yours by filling yourself up with junk all the time.
Oh no.
He's fat.
Looks like they're arguing again.
The sheer joy I expressed playing DQ was such a fun time. Besides that one plot point that also made me depressed.
You're back. We've been enjoying Spina di Rosula's VIP treatment in your stead.
God damn, does Savando make me happy to be
Paulo's
alive?
nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right?
Graceful Charity,
We
Pawn's
heard
Pot of
she's
Greed.
playing
I
the
agree.
Oceanid who turns into a
But-
human girl.
But Graceful
What
Charity's
about
not a
you?
meme. Not a meme.
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
What is with Fontaine having characters you don't want to smash? Good God, they're making you have deeper attachments than he, their prey. Because this region has actual writing. It is insane. The fucking the gap in quality between this and all the other stuff in Hoyo recently. I played the first part of the newest Honkai, the Impact the Third chapter earlier, and I saw red towards that thing at the end that I put in spoiler tags in Gacha Impact for anybody who cares. But, like, it is insane. I have no idea who they got to write the Fontaine parts, but dear God, please get them more work.
He was originally supposed to take the form of a crane, but he outgrew that role.
More like mid-ho-yo.
So now he's playing the boar instead.
Sorry.
He's fat.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who raises the little Oceanid, yes?
That's right. He has some pretty memorable lines, too. Like when he imparts some solemn words of wisdom.
Look at
to the little
Furina, seeing the
Oceanid.
bright side in smaller characters.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and
1
legacy.
minute left on the hype train!
She kept quiet
Level
about all
3,
the
not
trials
bad.
and tribulations she faced in running our troupe,
Maybe we haven't
allowing
had
us
one of
to
those in
devote
so
ourselves
long.
fully to performing.
Yeah,
It was
I don't
only
know.
after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier
Paimon
that the
laughs
troupe
at
is
fat
like your
jokes.
home.
Paimon laughs at fat jokes. She thinks The Nutty Professor 2 is the funniest movie ever made.
I'm too busy to deal with this.
Bingus! Too busy to deal with Bingus. She loves Nutty Professor 2. She loves Adam Sandler movies. I'm saying Paimon is cringe.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't
Yeah, I don't
be
know.
treated,
I don't know what Natlan's gonna be
they
like, but Jesus Christ,
decided
it's
they
got some
didn't
big
want
shoes
me
to fill.
anymore. I spent some years taking whatever work I could find and trying to manage my illness with various medicines. But
But I love
whenever
Adam
I had a
Sandler.
bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an alleyway for days at a time.
We got an emote.
It was like that
I
until
think.
the director found me one day. She told me I had a
Hype
great
train over.
voice
Thank you all very much.
and
I
asked
appreciate
if I
it.
was interested in studying
I
singing
needed
from
that.
her. I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up.
Monster check.
I know it was all a huge burden on her.
Oh, you get the choo choo.
Sounds like a really
badge. Excellent.
incredible person.
She really was.
Paimon
She
likes
gave
Master of
everything
Disguise.
she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director.
Every moment the Paimon is not on screen, she's turning to you and in her headspace or whatever and saying, "Hey, traveler, am I turtly enough for the turtle club? Turtle, turtle."
I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer, my parents weren't around when I was little, so I got sent to an orphanage.
Not sure why Fusion didn't get one. That's weird.
The other kids were always picking fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it.
Furina's favorite movie is Master of Disguise. Nah, she's better than that.
One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore, so I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
She's too much of a genuine, actual thespian. Her favorite movie is probably like The Fall or something.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
Most tragic movie relative to her life.
The day
Let me
you
think.
hoped would never come. How times change.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here. There's someone I need to introduce you to. This is our new artistic
The
consultant.
Fall was the first thing I thought
Miss
of, but that might
Furina.
unironically be a bit of a good one.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Also,
Even so,
hi,
this
Xander
is
Mobus.
just... Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story.
Literally just his Joker voice, yeah.
Oceanid decides she wants to become a human against the wishes of her family.
Yeah, that's fun. Earlier, I was watching a. I was thinking about this. I was watching a highlight reel of Loud and Annoying's playthrough of Persona 5. If you don't know who Loud and Annoying is, that is the shared Twitch channel of Max Middleman, aka Ryuji and Ito, Ray Chase, aka Nuviet, and a bunch of other shit, and Robbie Damon. They played through Persona 5. We need a reunion. We just need Robbie Damon in the game, and we can recreate that.
She finds love and friendship in the bustling city. But then, disaster strikes. The people start to notice that all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing. The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it, and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years has caused the fresh water to flee the land, as if driven by a consciousness of its own.
Consciousness?
This kind of grows the
water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Like Arknights.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling. She then tells her lover
that
about
is
her
the scene
true
where Robbie Damon
identity,
skipped the pancake
as well
scene,
as the
yes.
truth behind the crisis.
Or stream, yes.
Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover, and the rest of humanity.
Huh? But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain?
You didn't expect to know Xander Mobus.
After that!
He also skipped Ryuji's first reel,
Well,
yes, that was
she
in the
mainly
highlight
wanted
reel.
to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Max was very
Through
upset.
her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
You're a real glass half empty girl, aren't you?
Too cruel of an ending to me. And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
I was gonna say, who pissed in her
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death. Both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aureli had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue, to leave the court of Fontaine and wait for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came. By the time we returned to the city, she disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her
God
at
damn
all.
it, I keep forgetting.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told
Get
you
out of
to
here,
leave
voices
the
in my
city
head.
suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Fielmont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
For the record, no. I thought about it more. Like, the fall is kind of a stretch. Although it is similar. Movie that Furina would empathize with, or kin, or whatever you want to put it. The man who fell to Earth. David Bowie?
Yeah.
Very, very
He's
good
been
movie.
overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with O'Reilly.
What?
Live stream chat.
You kept that one quiet.
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel.
I don't understand what the mistake is supposed to be. I gotta be quite honest. Like, I don't see what's wrong with that panel.
I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away. She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners. Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said,
the middle eaten
maybe
by
one
the
day in
book?
the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention.
Oh, you mean like is the binding too tight that like the pages aren't flowing together technically? I mean, yeah, they're a little misaligned, but like that's just kind of a thing with books. Like I've never heard any rampant stories about the manga being unreadable because of it, if that is a thing.
Well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life.
Yeah, that's physical
And now,
media. Yeah, like that just happens.
That day will never come.
Oh, Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by O'Reilly. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
Paimon has laughed and
In
Freddy
that case,
got fingered.
you have to straighten things out with Vilmont once and for all, face to face. We've all had our
Paimon
differences
sings the
of
Daddy Would
opinion
You Like
over
Some
the ending,
Sausages song
but those two have
every time
never
she
seen
pops
eye to
out when
eye
you go to
on
the pause
anything.
menu.
One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Vilmont.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly, I'm slightly terrified. But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y!
It wasn't like super awful. I wouldn't know. I've never owned a physical copy of the Berserk manga, but like I said, that is just something that happens with physical media. I have no way. If it were that widespread, I imagine I would have heard something with the circles I hang out in. But like it looks fine to me.
This is tough going. Delphi, are you sure you can manage in your condition?
I could ask you the same question. Try to keep up.
What character would enjoy a good cuck arc? Probably Paimon. Paimon's probably into NTR. Like a fucking freak.
Ugh, as if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour.
Secret, what's the problem? I know you ain't about to defend
wait,
Paimon.
Why are you all looking at me?
Why you keep bobbing
You're not
me?
seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
You're scaring me.
We're just curious, that's all. I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Because she can't.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her powers so
you
it could
do
be
know.
converted into Indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
Oh, just because of the stress. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. They. Okay. Thank God. I am actually so fucking glad that that's public knowledge. I was thinking that maybe they might just like keep that on the DL after everything because only we were there. But But no, I guess Nuvia put out a press release, or let Charlotte write an article explaining the full situation or something.
Precisely.
Why didn't they show that part? At
And
least I don't think they did.
I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway.
Did they? Am I? Like, genuinely, am I taking crazy pills? Like, did they? Because like after the conflict was done, they cut to us reading the newspaper. Was that one of the articles explaining exactly what Furina had done? Because I remember it just being some other bullshit about, like, other miscellaneous stuff people were doing. I don't remember that being a thing there.
As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
That
At least you admit
so
it.
smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
She'd watched 5 hours of Cocomelon and then the trilogy of Human Centipede. I didn't know there was a third one. Actually, I've probably been told at some point. Pass the controller to Ian. Shit! He's not here. Oh, no. I'll just play this. That's the same thing.
You can't handle the truth!
You can't handle the truth that Ian's not here to pass the controller to. Say lovey.
Say lovey, indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast my eyes on fight mode Furina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Oh, this is gonna suck.
Now.
I have no way to. I have literally no way to break that other one's shield, I don't think. Okay, no. Water will work, it'll just be very slow.
Say cheese!
Be sanctified.
No need to fear.
No! Bruh.
Hold that pose! Let my name echo in song!
Using the same elements of the enemy. I didn't know! That's not just
settle down.
Yoo-hoo! Say cheese!
Bruh.
Take these photos to the Steambird.
She's such a professionalist. I'm dead. Don't let me miss my deadline on top of being dead.
Let the mighty
Please
be
give these to my boss.
Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, sure. Sure I
Yeah,
did.
thank you.
Look at
Anyway,
her little
the
critters.
path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Ay. I didn't know. I'm still trying to figure out what Furina's best team is. For what I haven't done too much research, but not you. I haven't done too much research, but from what I understand, this is a pretty good one. Maybe I'll switch to that just for the sake of hopefully showing off her a little better.
Boring. Isn't there anything else more interesting to do?
Furina, please don't talk that way about your own quest.
Vilma, are you there?
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except you.
So, you think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? I care just as much as everyone else about making the Little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us. We're supposed to be a unit when we're on stage.
Vilma, avoiding the truth will not help anyone. Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
That's my boy Jean-Vez
I don't want to talk about it.
You're telling me that
Listen,
Hoyo
Vimo.
reuses NPC models?
I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame.
My God.
I never brought it up to anyone. But now,
bigger journalist.
I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared
You say
to
her
face
last
everything,
words when it passed
to
on these
sacrifice
photos. But all these
everything
photos suck.
for the sake of the
they
show.
Look like she was smacking her opponent with her camera. She hit her button. About
The
that.
little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one. As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Oh, there's the drug plot line.
Isn't that the drink peddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Props to Gamrick for remembering that yesterday, because otherwise I would have been like, what are they talking about? I had forgotten about it. It gets you high.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes.
But also fucks with your head.
And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages. The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe, and it wasn't my fault. But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything. Yeah, I got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean, you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her!
Why are you pointing?
So
What are you pointing at?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life. And he has the gall to try and high-road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the sake of the show. How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now?
I will get some.
I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back.
They killed female Goro.
Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve. End my life. So I can meet the director and apologize to her in person.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost. I don't ever want to see your face again.
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you.
Posture check.
Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
She's right, you know.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, The lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention. I can tell how much she loved you all, and how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits now. Why bother with the final performance if the group is already fractured? But you can't bring yourself to do that, can you? You care too much about Director O'Reilly and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Vilmont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? But she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was. Even her harshest lectures came from a place of kindness, and it showed. She really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters. When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on O'Reilly herself. She's the true star of the show.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated that underwater synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find anything that O'Reilly left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final days.
You really think that's possible?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the
You've done a
story
better balance of
being
NPC
based
Masterpiece
on
Theater
O'Reilly's
since
true
Eula.
feelings.
No.
The new Viet one was good.
We'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's
They've
pay a
actually been
visit
pretty
to the
decent about that
Palais
for a while.
Marmonia. The rest of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now and wait for our good news.
Ever since Nilu, they kind of chilled out with that. You weren't here for Nuvia yet? Yeah. No. Oh no, no worries. Yeah, no. Usually I know you ain't here for every single Genshin stream, and even if you were, it's hard to remember stuff because the updates can take so long sometimes. But yeah, no, they've actually yeah. A lot of them do get mogged down to a degree, but like nothing has ever come close to being like completely dire since Nilu's.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
So, this is all O'Reilly left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe there's something in here from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vachey's guilt.
Vachey took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off.
What?
Her handwriting here gets
it makes sense here for the most part.
Illegible by the line.
Still not sure if I agree with the general setup for it.
Probably didn't have much strength left.
Dissolving women. Oh
Her
yeah,
final
Jux, that
words
was a
are-
thing.
I'll let you read them for yourselves.
Yeah, that was a thing back in Act 2. Major plot point in general, it ended up kind of being. Someone else is taken, that makes 6 or maybe 7. They have a fever, stomach hurts. Someone sees this, keep my boys safe. I wrote some song lyrics for you.
She was so terrified.
She watched a girl getting dissolved in front of her and then had to wait to die too.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her final days must have been. Wait. This part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is that truly what you want?
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one.
Oh, they're gonna say it.
You will face suffering and loneliness.
The one time I decided to read
still
this.
What you want?
I read it because I figured that was gonna be
line
important.
in the Little Oceanid?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troop would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love. And she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
May as well. Treasure was a treasure map. Or the journal is a treasure map at the end. Trust us, they did that.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for others to follow.
She did her best to protect as many people as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now. I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well, Vilmont, if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance, to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director Aurelie and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina. And thank you for supporting us through all this.
Then, let's not delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, if you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right, I'll leave you to fine-tune your musical while I go and procure a stage.
Procure a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary stage. By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Whoa, wait, what?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
Too bad.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Go big or go home. I'm glad she still has enough authority to arrange something there.
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you? I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too.
Have I seen modern Furbies? I didn't know they made Furbies
we'll
still.
need to get the go-ahead from
Oh
Neuvillette.
dear God!
I know just where to find him.
I don't know, man. I think I'll take the dead eyes over that kawaii woo nightmare. Why is it wearing a necklace with a slice of pizza? Terrifying. She's gonna knock on Neuvillette's door for 15 hours in a row. like I said, he didn't seem to have any hard feelings.
Hey, look at that.
Huh?
Looks like I guessed right.
Hey.
You were just guessing?
Paimon, shut up. You don't get to judge anyone
I
ever.
knew you'd be here.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, Traveler and Paimon.
Furby loves Ninja
What might I
Turtles.
assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an event. You see...
I understand. The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes, and this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the Little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist, Cleo, are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage.
At least he's being more respectful about it.
This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission. I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date, and mail
Also feels
the
like maybe
relevant
it's one of the only
paperwork
people
to
with the right to make
once the
those claims,
details are
pretty much.
confirmed.
Thanks, Nervalette.
Stop mispronouncing my name.
You are very welcome. Many people were once enthralled by Lady Furina's performances, myself included. I hope that one day she'll be able to understand that our appreciation was always sincere.
Aww.
Take it. Go on. You have my approval.
The first time I've opened a chest with her. That's funny. Immediately turned after the conversation. Yeah, the character switching is pretty funny sometimes. How abrupt it can happen.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The opera Epiclese is
I can't believe Furina is related to Professor Farnsworth.
Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now, let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse.
For SNES, one of the
Fiamma
reasons
and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked
well
a few
used,
things.
put it likely.
I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
That's good.
Wow, you two had a constructive conversation? That's great!
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing. Even though Furina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up.
I will... I will choke you with your own goddamn trachea. Jesus Christ.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. time to practice the opening number.
You gonna get a decent CRT, maybe? Yeah. Hey, Stu. I just threatened to choke Paimon with her own trachea. How are you doing?
That cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to blame. How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be useful.
NPC.
Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
They've been using them mostly smart for this one.
And never, ever look back.
There's been some other frustrating things about it, but it's not been dire.
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such a fine performance in a long time. If only...
What should we do? It's almost time for her to take the stage!
Why does it have to be now?
Oh, is Furina gonna have to sub in?
What's going on? You're due on stage any second now.
Any money? Will they give?
Oh,
will
no,
they give her a new
not
model
again.
or new outfit or whatever?
But why?
Place your
what
bets.
What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my dose.
What?
Maybe it'll be one of those like other
cured.
cutscenes.
So they were only managing your symptoms?
With like the 2D style.
I figured.
And they'll do something
whatever
for
it took to get me through this final performance.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time.
She's pregnant.
How can the show go on without its star performer?
Miss Furina?
If only there were a different actress. Alright, now second question. Is this a debate? Is she faking a tummy ache to give Furina the confidence boost? Help her get her groove back or whatever? Or is she actually sick?
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask. Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
You can be the mermaid! Wait, what?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest. I'll sing the finale. From the sublime to the ridiculous. After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Call BS on every stage show has other actors on standby to replace the actor if need be.
Never mind. What's done is done.
This was already
it's really
a whole
my own
ass
fault
thing.
For getting in too deep.
This was their big final. You missed a lot too. This was their big final show, and she was very insistent on still playing the part, even though she was sick. And it was a whole rigmarole. These guys are also broke. Yeah, they're basically volunteers.
No one likes regrets.
They're not a huge troupe, as
Myself
far as I can
included.
tell.
Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director.
Yes, I already know what you're going to ask. Could you give me a foot massage? That might make me feel better.
What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure, she never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
Oh, happy birthday, Daisy.
Well said.
He's grown so much.
I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
Baby girl. Budget? No new outfit. Rip. I was gonna say they literally could have used the Focalor outfit again. They had that one. Not sure why they didn't.
Is she here yet?
When will she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Si je pouvais vivre dans l'eau, le monde serait-il plus beau? Me pardonneras-tu, ô chère mère? L'eau dans son courant fait danser nos vies.
Thank you, John.
Ainsi que toi, mon doux amour.
I can't believe Amerlee Connors doesn't know how to sing in French.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Le grand amour ne suffit pas, seul un adieu fleurira. C'est notre histoire de vie, douce et amère. Moi, je suis, serai toujours là, à voir le monde et sa beauté. Et ça ne changera jamais, jamais.
That's not part of the script. Well, thank God random NPC number 2 liked it. Okay, that was okay, I guess. A bit contrived. 6 out of 10.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
Yeah, I didn't actually give her that. I just kept it used as a killer theater prop. Is he the one who would have authority over that now? It's always been kind of unclear how that shit works. I don't know if Nuviet has the authority to give out visions to people now or what.
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere? Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
It was mostly singing, but sure.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
That won't confuse people.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me. It's too bad that I had to break the one clear rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Finally, we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Way to ruin it!
Hey, that's not what we agreed on!
Oh, so it was Furina after all. She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
Genshin loves
All right,
aliens.
calm
It's for
down,
absolutely
don't
no
be
reason
mad.
they really do.
This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged.
It's crazy.
After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yeah, they've all got their god name, their demon name, and then their human name. And then Zhongli has 2 god names, so Zhongli's got the most at 4. I think that's all he has, but it could be 6. I don't even know.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Worst case scenario, you might get asked to sign a few autographs. I was gonna say, yeah, Furina is technically just Furina. The Focalor's half of her is fucking dead.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
This is a great chat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a heart attack. Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, that was part of the play. What the fuck?
Oh, that. I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it?
The fact that I love the fact that hers is unique too, which I guess would back up the idea that Nuviet was the one who gave it to her. I guess he does have authority over that now. Like, once again, for those who don't know, Fontaine characters also have the gimmick where they're either like light or dark, and their visions look slightly different depending on which is which. Hers is a combination of both.
I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
That's neat.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Oh, it's way over here. Good God.
After all this not being named and then being named, I've decided to make a move to preserve my public anonymity. I will get a new name. Oh, well, that's a good first step. I'm real proud of you. Frank!
You've somehow found a name that's simultaneously both too far and too familiar.
What do you mean by that? Nothing! Oh, nothing.
Artists and streamers have been chanting Paimon's name for death for a while. Like, a lot of people have been like, she's only gotten worse. Like, she has just slowly but surely worn out any goodwill if she ever had that much in the first place, which I don't think she did. But, like, everybody I know who's, like, had issues with the game as it's gotten further and further into its lifespan, it's been because of Paimon. Tectone can't fucking stand her. Tectone has especially been chanting for her death, and I don't blame him in the slightest.
Ah, you're back. She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her
Yeah, they're
original
making
medication.
the pro tag talk more and
From
more
experience,
slowly but
though,
surely.
I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
This is hardcore copium, but maybe it's a desensitization process. Maybe they're slowly but surely having Traveler talk more to eventually kill off or have Paimon betray us since she's totally the fake god or whatever from the start of the game.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the audience like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful.
In like 2 more
I'm
regions.
so sorry I failed to
Exactly.
see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough it out to begin with.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition.
There was a death threat incident with the English VA. Oh yeah, no, there has been,
Even
yeah.
though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Yeah, no. In case it weren't blatantly obvious, it always should be, but because people are stupid, I feel the need to point it out. Nothing but love to Karina Boetker, the voice actor. Like they're cool. I have loved many other roles that they have done. But just dear God, between the way they have to pitch their voice to do Paimon, and just the sheer stupidity of most of Paimon's dialogue, dear God.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly
Oops.
care a lot about each other.
The protagonist was exactly the same as Paimon's.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
Nah, it's a different VA. It kind of has to be, considering the protag can also be male. How does China feel about Paimon? Again, I'd love to know.
Any plans
Like, I
for the next step?
I asked earlier about, like, the younger demographic who the game's, like, mostly made for. I asked, like, hey, if any of you are out there watching this somehow, like, what do you personally think about Paimon? But, like, and I think it's even less likely in terms of people watching this later on YouTube or whatever. But if there are any, Chinese, natives out there, or, like, or at the very least people who, like, speak it and are familiar with, the conception of it, of stuff better than I am on that side of the globe. Like, how does anyone... Does anybody like Paimon? You know what? Demographics be screwed, statistics be screwed. Anybody. I don't care how old you are, where you're from, what you've done with your life. Do you like Paimon?
After the brilliant performance you put on,
like, comment, subscribe if you like
the reputation of
Paimon.
your troop is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the Little Oceanid to the bigger theater troops out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
And that's how the Disney Corporation was founded in the magical land of Tevat.
No, we should still
And it was all
disband.
downhill from there.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Indifferent? Not indifferent. I mean actively like.
Don't just walk off!
It has to be an active enjoyment of the character.
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe. After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
Then no. You took a poll
You
of
should
one
do
person.
it.
The
It
result is I
suits
don't
you.
speak Chinese.
I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but
Call this inconclusive.
I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
Why do you look so
Well,
upset?
Frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option for me. I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go, until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Sorry.
See, something like that is
It's quite
fine
all
though, I
right.
think.
No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole experience has shown me that perhaps I'm not as averse to a return to the stage as I'd previously imagined.
You know, like, no matter if you're acting for that long, like, even if it's not really you, like, you're going to start to feel like it is to at least a degree. So, like, of course, that's going to be just a part of her to a degree, no matter what she does. Like, it is fine for her to still want to pursue any kind of career path on that, in that way. It's just that we were being real dicks about it early on. Just trying to drag her right out back into the spotlight with, like, no consideration for the trauma she's just gone through. But, like, something like that's actually very appropriate. Like, to just step back out of the spotlight necessarily, at least not all the time, and be more of a consultant and help other people learn how to, like, do what she did, just perhaps not to the same Promethean excessive degree.
Maybe
that works.
Was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
You checked a post from over a year ago. Chinese players, Paimon is not hated. Her Chinese VA isn't as bad, and Chinese fans are really surprised by her hate from the Western fan base. All right. There you have it. Unless things have changed since then, I guess it's just another one of those sensibility things. Like the excessive purple prouse and technobabble with a lot of the Honkai stuff. No need to draw lines in the sand. You just do you. You figure things out. You got all the time in the world now.
There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop
China
running
continues
from
to
your
have
true
terrible
calling.
taste in water
The
and
more you
sweat.
get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place
You
it
said
is.
it, not me. I played the fifth. I just read chat. I don't think that way.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the gods, then I should do my best to honor it.
Okay, I have my first appointment for helping starting actors. I wonder how this will go.
Yo, what's up? Yo, Arataki Ito in his house.
I'm going to go back to my apartment and make more macaroni.
But yeah, I'm okay with this. Like I said, I hate how fucking aggressive and dickish we were, especially Paimon at the start. But like, that's a decent conclusion for her. Do I wish we'd maybe like actually helped her psychologically a little bit more? Yeah, but it's fine. How you doing?
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power. And now that the gods have given me their blessing, it actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands.
Can we read her mind with Nahida? She can only do that to people from Sumeru, sadly.
Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Yeah, pretty much. I wonder if anything changed, profile-wise. Oh, it does say vision instead of question marks now. Before you did her quest, it said question marks, which makes sense. Nothing new to say, Nuviet? I'm just kind of curious to know for sure if you're the one who gave it to her. I have to assume he was. But again, they've never been too terribly clear about how that works. It's not China's fault they're legally required to have the same opinions as Ping. Ping loves Paimon. King Ping or whatever his proper title is, I don't know because I'm an ignorant white woman. He loves Paimon. Isn't that great? But all right. I guess that's all. I guess that's all, folks. Yeah, I like Furina a lot. It's been a hot minute since I have empathized with the character to this degree. A final gift from Fossilors, maybe? I don't know. Like I said, they've never been clear about like how the vision gifting works. Get wrecked, Goro. Is she going on the board? She is absolutely going on the board. No question. I love this girl with all my heart. I still don't know where she goes from here. Like, it's cool that she has at least, like, some kind of general goal in life again. Like, she has a job. We'll call it a job. Let's say she's gonna end up just being a consultant or whatever. Maybe occasionally acting herself. But, like, I do wonder, because, like, all of these, all of the character quests about Archons typically end up, can I not look at them here? I know there's a way to look at them somewhere. Where is it? She does MCU movies next. I mean, we did joke about her starting Disney. Is it this? It is. Yeah, so these the story quest or character quest, whatever you call them. I mean the 5x5, yeah. Typically speaking, the Archons all get 2, and also Yoimiya. Yoimiya also got 2 for some reason. The Archons all get 2, and the second one is usually like something you know, very obviously like about their godhood in some fashion specifically, and usually leads to a new world boss. I'm very curious how they're gonna handle hers now. Like the fact that she is effectively now a normal human being, and Nuviet is effectively like the closest thing this country has to a god now. I'm very, very curious on how that's gonna go. They've actually got to shake up the formula for the first time in a while. It's kind of neat. Maybe they'll give them both a second one. I'd be down for that. I'd be all about more characters getting second ones. I have no idea why they had decided to why they gave Yoimiya a second one, but like it did set a precedent that, you know, people besides Archons could get more. Venti also only ever got one, weirdly enough. But yeah, it's just interesting. I cannot stress, like, there were a couple of hiccups. Like I said, I still really don't like the Skirk plot point. Like, that really did feel like bad fan fiction the more I think about it, especially the fact that we didn't kill the whale. Just like, oh, this is my master's pet. Sorry about that. Oopsie poopsie. Taking him back now. Ayato got one. It was you don't remember it because it was NPC Masterpiece Theater. Ayato's character quest was more about some NPCs getting married than it was about him. So, you know. The whale, I think the whale already is one. I haven't fought it yet. I'm pretty sure it actually is one already. Because, like, she needs new materials. I can't level her up. I can't level her up yet because I'm stuck because I need more flowers. But, like, that whale should be a proper boss, actually. I have no idea where you go about fighting it. That's a good question. Shit. She's adorable. Can you play as the whale? Not to my knowledge. Not yet. Huh. There should be a separate thing for world bosses, but hell if I can, maybe domains? It's domains. That's right. Where is it? Is this it? I'm not gonna fight it on screen, but, or unless people really want to see me try. Yeah, it's totally this. The Quantum. Quantum confirmed for Genshin. Yeah, the whale is definitely already a boss. They just didn't make you fight the proper fight for the story purposes. Which makes sense given what happened, but again, I kinda wish they had just let us finish it off. Kinda wish they hadn't decided to introduce that plot point to that degree, but whatever, again. In terms of writing, this is the best Genshin Impact has ever been. Love all the new characters, especially my girl here. I am, for the first time in a hot minute in this game, happy with the current direction of things, and can't wait to see where we go from here. And we can react to her demo real quick. Yeah, I know people were freaking out about it on Twitter. I have not watched. In addition, like I said, there was a patch in this game where I was just kind of done with it. So like I wasn't even watching character demos, and then even when I got back to Fontaine, we were even when Fontaine got started, like I just didn't care enough to like be checking those out. But everybody was losing their shit over Furina's, and given my overall thoughts on the character, I think we should definitely watch that real quick. Oops. Ignore me, I'm not here. I'm not here.
I'm not here right now. I have to type. Unless somebody has a link. That I'm also not here.
Genshin would never is dead. The Genshin would never meme is dead for now. We watched a woman kill herself. We can't make that joke for a hot minute. Raiden and Furina start a podcast together. Holy shit. Genshin would never write a good story twice. We'll see. We will see. Again, for now. Like, we've got a long-ass wait before we go to the next region. We'll probably get some kind of interlude between now and then, but we're not gonna worry about it. Just deleted our imaginary friend, that's all, that's all. Alright, let me get... Wait, what? Did I not? Oh, I put it in Firefox instead of Chrome. Ignore me. I hope I have the right thing. This is the first thing that popped up. Hopefully this is the correct thing. Next country is Fire Emblem. What could go wrong? Yeah. Fire Emblem's never had a bad game, ever. Hoping the Arlecchino rumor is too. You and me both, yeah. I'll be curious where she goes from here. Alright, let's see. Got that. Mute the game just so it's not bleeding in. War is bad for 12 hours. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Alright. Let me know if this is the right thing. Anybody who's watched it already? Y'all can't hear that. 1 second, my bad. I forgot I had changed it the other day when we were doing Final Fantasy with Ian. It's on the wrong output. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most spectacular show in the history of Fontaine. Please put your hands together for our national icon, Fontaine's biggest celebrity, one of the 7 archons of Tibet, the Regina of all waters, kindred, peoples, and laws, Furina de Fontaine!
Oh, that's what my profile's pick's from. I just picked the first cool image I could find that looked official.
Vocal cords are ready, blood sugar replenished.
Bruh.
Let the show begin!
Oh my god. She found Vilvi's music. Oh my god. Don't club the seals, Furina! What are you doing? Replenish your blood sugar with macaroni. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Is she gonna dance to chocolate cream? No. This fucking sounded like it for a second.
Natural smiles, please. Hold it and action.
Oh my god. What the fuck? What is this fan fiction? What the fuck is this? I was gonna say, they released that shit before the actual quest came out. Well, I didn't have to worry about spoilers. I probably could have watched that earlier. That's for sure. Dear God, holy shit. Someone cooked here. That was adorable. Playing RPS with the crap. Dear God. Holy shit, Sora! Wait, no, Sora Classic mode. Yeah, Sora Classic mode. Terrible. I was gonna say, yeah, like... in the context of them releasing it before the chapter, that makes sense. But yeah, like, again, the idea of her falling completely back into that after everything she went through is a little like, but it's fine. All right. I don't think I got anything else. I don't think I got anything else other than talking about how much I love Furina. So I think we're done. That was very cute. I can see why people were freaking out about that fucking scene at the end with everyone just beating the shit out of each other for reasons. Also, Marco Meatball reacting to the new boss theme. Gotta watch that later, once I actually hear more of the new boss theme myself. From Furina to Fishman Island, this is going to be a, I'm gonna break my own neck getting whiplash. Alright. Furina Island. Alright, yep, well, I'm gonna go, mentally prepare myself for that by taking, some Advil and, eating up my chicken wings left over. At the end, there's, like, a frame where a child jumps a man! Outstanding. Finished mystery tomorrow? Yep, probably. You got it. But, yep. Once again, Genshin good. Right now, for the moment, Genshin good. I have no idea if there's a story-based event this patch later on or not. I know there's already a event up there, but as far as I know, it's just a combat one, no voice acting or whatever. But, if there is, we'll get to it eventually. Probably once it's done being time-gated. But, one way or the other, we'll be back at some point. I am very, very curious where we go from here. I've never been more optimistic about the future of this game. I love Furina with all my heart and being. That's it. Alright. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Special thanks to Fusion, Ninja, Go-Kart tier patrons, Vroom Vroom. If you want to help support Furina having everybody beat the shit out of each other, check out the links in the description. Love you guys. Nighty-night.